Hey y'all, it's your queen pimp son kids coming through right quick, right fast, maybe, with another congratulating commentary on the Soul Train Awards 2022 and for the Ladies of Soul 2022. Xscape, the 90s iconic, legendary, illustrious woman, all black woman singing group Xscape. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna start off with them at the pre-show. Okay, now I didn't watch the pre-show. I just so happened to come across a clip that they had from the pre-show in the midst of me looking for my pics and vids and everything for the girls. So yeah, but this is a very nice pic that I found of them on the blue carpet at the pre-show. And baby, when I tell you, it is giving Flash and the Midnight Falcons. And speaking of which, I am going to start off by talking about their fashions. Yes. So for those of you who don't know, from left to right, we have Candy Burris Tucker, and then we have Tamika Scott, and then we have Tiny Tamika Harris, and then we have Latasha Scott, aka Flash. So as a whole unit with 4 people that's supposed to be in a singing group together, being honored together, I'm gonna have to say that it's a fool. I'm gonna have to say that it's a fool. And I'm gonna have to blame everybody. I'm sorry. Because you know, everybody grown. You can't control everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna touch on some of the background drama a bit. And with that being said, it's a fool, and I'm gonna blame everybody. However, I do think that Tasha may hold most of the weight, because it is to my understanding that this is laced with a bit of my personal opinion and observation as well. Tasha is low-key, high-key using the group's current relevancy to prop up her solo career, to try again at her solo career. And I don't blame her for that at all. I do not blame her for wanting more for herself, for trying to strike while the iron is hot. I understand she has been signed and all this, that, and the third. And that's wonderful. Congrats to her. However, you're not being honored as Latasha Scott. You're being honored as Xscape. So you can go ahead and acquire your own stylist, your own manager, your own this and that for your shows, for your appearances, for your photo shoots, all by yourself, where you are being recognized as Latasha Scott or Tasha. But like I said, that's not what's going on here. You're at the Soul Train Awards and you're being honored as Xscape. So it definitely would have been in everyone's best interest to continue the protocol of dressing as a unit. All of these years, they have dressed as a unit. As you can see, 3 of the members are, they have on a variation of the same dress, basically. They have on alternate versions of the same type of dress. They have been doing that since they came out, having on alternate versions of the same type of outfit, you know, a set color scheme, a set theme, so that they look unique individually, but still as a unit, as a group. And Tasha has, for me, fucked up the imagery, because Y'all are not Flash and the Midnight Falcons. It's not David Ruffin and the Temptations. Not Diana Ross and the Supremes. You ain't Effie White and the Dreams. It's very annoying and an eyesore to look at Candy and the two Tamikas, Candy, Tamika, and Tiny, be, you know, so uniform and look so sleek and look so clean and pristine and classy and just H2T, giving everything that needed to have been gave. And then you got big, bodacious, voluptuous, beautiful Tasha in this loud ass, shiny ass, booger aluminum looking dress. And I have a love-hate relationship with her dress. And before I talk about specifically what that is, I'm going to elaborate a little bit on why I said I feel everybody has accountability to take, and the lack of uniformity, the lack of UNITY, okay, that is happening here. And it's mostly based off of a pattern that I'm noticing. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but it just seems like a pattern of whenever there is discord in the group, it seems to be either a 3-on-1 situation or a 2-on-2 situation. And that type of thing says to me that the group started out with some imbalances. And granted, it's 4 different people, so you got 4 different dualities going on. I say 4 different dualities because of the understanding that each individual has a light side and a dark side, if you will, a higher self and a shadow self. So it's really like 8 personalities going on, especially with all of them being creatives. Then you got about 16, 24, 32 personalities going on in the midst of just 4 people and trying to get a lot of shit done. And they started off at such young ages, this, that, and the third. And with that being said, it's understandable. And it's understandable because it's probably a lot of childhood stuff that probably hasn't been spoken about in depth that gets in the way. You know, when you're young, you're impressionable, you're hot, you're spunky, you're naive, you're ambitious, you're liberated, you're a whole lot of things at once without your frontal lobe being fully developed, you know? Without the proper maturity and capacity to really deal with certain things without being an asshole a lot of the times. And so if you know, adults have a tendency to be assholes at times. And you know, teenagers, let alone teenage creative girls who more than likely had a lot of adult responsibilities at their young ages, it can only be deduced that they did things to each other in their young age, maybe not meaning to, maybe meaning to, maybe not even being aware of it. And it's probably a lot of subconscious shit that boils itself and rears its head to this day that can make a difference in how they perceive what each one communicates to each other. So with all that being said, let me kind of give an example of what I mean. Candy may simply say to Tasha, hey, we're gonna wear this. But if Candy had a domineering tone or a air about herself, like her shit don't stink when she was a teenager, and Tasha remembers that, and it left a stain on her perception of Candy from when they were teenagers, then Candy saying something to her as an adult at this time in her life, like, hey, this is what we're wearing. Anybody else could have came and said it, but Candy coming and saying it has a different essence. It hits different coming from Candy to Tasha because of the history. And it can even be a thing of like, maybe Candy ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Let's say Candy didn't do anything. If Tasha just has always had a perspective of Candy based off what she feels like Candy represents, then, you know, it causes noise in communication. And I'm not saying I know anything in particular specifically, you know, to be a beyond the shadow of a doubt fact as to why they have off and on discord outside of it just being, you know, peopling, you know what I'm saying? Creatives creativing and shit. You know, but just saying kind of, you know, based off observation and what I do know, what they have said, what I have seen them do and say. I have watched also, you know, the shows that each of them have been on individually and together. And, you know, I'm familiar with all the music and, you know, the blog stuff and things of that nature. And so this is my opinion based off of all that. And even more so, it gives a energy to me, okay, that Tasha may be very hypervigilant, whereas the rest of the ladies are more of a complacent type. And I refer to Tasha as hypervigilant as opposed to intuitive, because hypervigilance is along the lines of a sense of discernment that is laced in paranoia and insecurity. And that's not to say that she's always wrong or that she be going crazy or nothing like that. It's saying that because something has happened a certain way one time, or maybe more than one time, as understandable as it is, it's not healthy to get wrapped up in that to where you think now every action after that is them trying to get at me. Oh, they trying to get at me. They trying to make me feel small. They trying to attack me. I gotta be on the defense. You know, it's not healthy to have a relationship with your intuition like that. And so Tasha may see certain things that need to be discussed. She may bring up certain things that need to be addressed, that need to be nipped in the bud, whereas the other ladies may not take it as serious or may feel like it's not worth discussing because they just want to get on with the show, or they may perceive Tasha as being dramatic and this and that. And that's another thing where a commonality, like what I just said about Tasha, they may be so used to her popping off about something that they don't know what to take serious from her. You know, like if your mama always nagging all the time, eventually you gonna become numb to that shit and be like, okay, that shit ain't serious. You just always bitching about something. You just always, it's like the boy cried wolf. It's like the boy who cried wolf type shit. And it's understandable, but that's not always a good way to be. And that's why I'm saying imbalances, because I feel like they all have things that work, which is why they've lasted so long and why they would be honored at this point. But it's also what I feel like may cause discord, because you're so used to something that you're not picking up on the regulator cues that something really needs to be nipped in the bud, and y'all really need to figure out what that something is so that everybody can stop looking crazy. So yeah, I basically feel like where the other three dropped the ball is letting stuff build up without proper communication, and perhaps getting so accustomed to the idea that Tasha is just problematic. I ain't gotta listen to her. Ain't no need in listening to her because she always yapping about something. It probably ain't that serious. It could also be that. Whereas, like I said, Tasha seems to be quite self-centered and seems to be hyper vigilant, where she just don't know how to choose her battles type shit. And like I said, she wants real bad, as it appears to me, to be recognized as the Beyonce of the group type shit. And it's an ensemble group. It's like she can't accept the fact or get it through her head that this ain't that. And the more you try to make it be that, the more you mess up things for yourself. Okay, now let's get back to the fashions. And I'm going to start with Tasha and why I have a love-hate relationship with her dress. So, I like the color, actually. And I want to like the material. However, it looks so meshy, like Christmas wreath mesh. And it has this metallic reflecting type of quality to it. And it's just too much. Like, it's clashing with their outfits. It's clashing with the blue carpet. It's clashing with the background. It's clashing with her hair. That platinum blonde is really not her color to me. It's just clashing. And she's already a pretty, like, tall, voluptuous woman. She didn't need all of that thick-ass, hot-looking material on her body, making her look even more like a hot air balloon at the Thanksgiving Day parade. And if you look around the part where the train is starting, the very bottom of the dress, it looks bunched up. It looked like it got snagged. It looked like she's standing on it. I don't like the way that it folds and ruffles at the back. It's just way too much going on with the dress. And then she got the audacity to have on some silver metallic, whatever that is, around her waist, that belt. It's just a fool, honey. It's a fool. She took somebody's Christmas wreath mesh and made a dress out of it, and I'm really mad about it, to be honest, because look at how it looks with the rest of the ladies. And she really thinks she doing it. She really thinks she is stepping on them, and all she doing is stepping on their dress. I cannot. I'm not feeling the hairstyle either, because the facial structure that Tasha has needs bigger hair, or like braids, just bigger hair. And it don't even have to be an afro. It can be like a blowout, but full of body. And that hairstyle is just too flat up against. Now, let me tell you something. What I will say, that it is bringing more attention to her beautiful ass face, and the beat of the makeup, okay, it is giving everything that it was supposed to have gave. Like, the titties are sitting up and the face is facing, okay? Face. Yeah, face card never declines. My God, okay? It's all that, but everything else, Please take that back to whoever's grandmama house that you got it from, and don't ever try to turn that mesh into no dress ever again. I'm gonna jump on over to Candy. Candy girl, you are my world. You look damn good. I just wish she would have done something different with her hair. I wish she would have done a updo, because that hair looks hot, and because her dress has like a design at the top, and it's like a like one side is completely sleeveless and the other side has a strap. She should have had her hair either all the way pulled back or in an updo. Either way, just not that hair, not that wig, not those braids, whatever that is on her head. I don't like it, because it's just reminding me of like those like like not quite middle-aged school teachers that just be trying to get by because they don't have time to do their hair, and so they throw a little yang on their head, a little crochet something on their head or whatever to go. That's nice for them. That's cute for them. Or, you know, the church ladies, and they trying to hurry up and get to Bible study. They trying to hurry up and get to Bible school. They trying to hurry up and get to church right quick, right fast, okay? So the ushers don't be giving them the dirty looks, and the pastor don't be shading them in the sermon, honey. They just throw on a little crochet, and they keep it moving and step on the girls, okay? But this is the Soul Train Awards, and that dress looks too good. Body is looking too good. Makeup too good. Earrings too good. Skin too popping for that hair. And it and when I looked at the because I don't know what Candy got against taking pictures by herself. I was trying to find some pictures of her by herself so I could look at the detailing of the fashions. But what I could see is some detailing and some close-ups of that hair. And it's two different colors. The front is black where the braids are, and the back is like reddish brown multicolored, and up close it looked a little dry, and it was giving me that episode of Sister when Tia tried to do her own hair, because Tamara was getting a whole lot of attention because she upkept her hairstyle for a good while, and she was getting a whole lot of popularity and such. So Tia said she was gonna go in there and fry, dye, and lay to the side, and all she ended up doing was frying it and crying, honey. It looked like that's what Candy did, and to compensate, she had somebody throw her some braids around the front to tame it and pull it back and make it look like a little shum. But I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. She needs to take that hair, give it to Tasha, so Tasha can ball it up with that dress she got on, and they can take it back to whoever's grandmama's house that they got it from. But the dress, honey, the stitching, baby, on those close-ups that I saw of Candy, baby, the stitchings of all of those dresses. See, Tasha, you trying to stand out, and you really shouldn't have. If you was gonna stand out, you should have asked them who their designer was, who the seamstress was, at least, so that they could stitch you up something. It could have been that same color, baby, but they would have used some different materials, some good jewels, some of that good anointed hands that they obviously have, because the stitching on that dress, those dresses, but you know, Candy has a lot of bedazzling on her dress, and oh, the stitching is seamless. It is perfect. It is what excellence looks like. Now I ain't gonna lie, I wish Candy would have wore some different shoes. But the shoes are fine. The shoes are fine because the dress is definitely the main event. That dress is everything. That dress is like a, in this case, blue carpet version of the dress that Kenya wore to Shein by Sheree's fashion presentation. Though I do like Candy's dress better because, like I said, the stitching is everything. The stitching is everything, and it just looks so, it looks so classy yet all purpose all at the same time. It's giving statue. It's well tailored to her body. And it's a major step up from what I feel like Candy be looking good, but I often feel like her clothes be swallowing her a lot of the time, and this is perfectly tailored. She has a train, but the dress is not eating her little body alive, and I'm so here for it. The splits, yes ma'am. The tits sitting up, and like I said, that split showing all of that thigh, all of that moisturization, okay? The toes and the feet are obviously oiled as well, but the feet are not overlapping the bottom of the shoe, which means Miss Mama's and her stylist did the damn thing. Tasha, girl, you did yourself a disservice. Okay. Who we want to talk about? I'm going to talk about Tamika. Okay. So, Tamika looks, absolutely amazing, like I said. But aside from Tasha's dress, I have to say that Tamika's variation of the dress and style is my least favorite. But I also have mixed feelings about it because it's so classic looking that I still love it. It reminds me of, like, now I'm a bit of a youngin', so I might get the time periods mixed up, but it reminds me of that young Della Reese era, that Mahalia Jackson era, that Big Mama Thornton era, but modernized in this particular instant. So while it's giving me overtly mature and I feel like it ages her, I like it for the same reason that I dislike it. Because I feel like it's exactly on theme. It's exactly on par. I feel like it definitely pays homage to the multitude of ladies of soul that were not so privileged to be honored at any award show, let alone the Soul Train Awards. Because, racism, misogyny, misogynoir, colorism, all that. And I feel the same way about her hair. I like it for the same reasons that I dislike it, because I feel like it ages her, but yet also I feel like it's so classic, it's so clean. Her makeup is done very well. It is a short do that has really cute curls to it, and I specify that it's a short do because, like I said about Candy's fit, it has a design and there is collarbone and shoulders to be shown and seen up at the top of the dress, and tits that are sitting up to be seen at the top of the dress, So you got to have your hair either up or short so that you can accentuate what's going on in the shimmy area. Okay, and so she is doing the shimmy properly. Okay, so I'm feeling her. I wish I could see her shoes. Much like her sister, I wish I could see her shoes also. Much like Tamika, the other Tamika, Tiny, I'ma wish that I could see her shoes as well. But like I said, also like I said about Candy's, the stitching is immaculate. I also love the shimmery fringe that she has spilling off of the shoulders on her dress. Tamika, that is. I love the shimmery fringe spilling off of her shoulders. It's done perfectly. Oh my gosh. The thought and effort and time and patience and discipline and precision put into the composition and creation of the dress and the dresses. It's all there. And it's all everything. It's giving me all the life I need. Oh God. I love it. All right, now Tiny, let's talk about you. So I feel like I would wear Tiny's dress. I would wear it. The titties are tittying also. I like the nude mesh underneath as well. I like the transparency. I like, most of all, how her uniqueness is accentuated in her dress. Because Candy has always had this specific Baps type of ghetto fabulousness about her. And it works. It's like two different worlds that came together perfectly on her. So it's the right amount of elegance going on and the right amount of I can hop to the club right after this and shake a little leg and shimmy some tit. You know what I'm saying? I also think this makes a great wedding reception dress as well. It's just so multifaceted, hers is. I can see it in a lot of different places. The only thing I don't like is that it looks like she's standing on the dress and I can't see her shoes, like I said. But I really like it. I really like it. I don't know. I really like it. It's not much that I can really say about it other than I really like it. And once again, the stitching, the composition, the time and creativity put into the gowns are everything. I really like it. I really like it. So if I can give a before I talk about Tiny's hair, if I can give a rundown of their dresses again. I ain't talking about Tasha because I'm tired of looking at that thing. It's hurting my eyes. Candy is giving me like statue, trophy, you know what I'm saying? And then Tamika is giving like a homage in a African American performing arts museum type shit. I love it. And then Tiny is like the modern day child. I don't even know. But whatever it is, it's very modernized. It's very youthful yet mature at the same time. It's giving I'm married, but I'ma still shake this leg, okay? I don't know. It's just so versatile. It's just so versatile. And child, the titties are titty. Goddamn. But her hair and makeup, I love it. And I love her hair because it's got that rock star ghetto fabulous edge on it, like she is good for pulling off. I love it. I love it. I love it. So now that I am done with the fashions, since this video is already 30 minutes, I'm going to split it up into different parts, and this will be the fashion part, and the other parts will focus on the other things. So in the next one, I will do the exchange that they had with Tank during the pre-show, and I'm gonna have, you know, some more to say on that. But before I wrap this video up, you know, towards the beginning of this video, when I was saying I felt like all of them had a part to play in the Discord, I wanted to say specifically that I said all of that to say that there is really no reason why they couldn't have came together after all of these years of doing it for this one show and look completely uniform. That, like, there's no, it's so simple. Y'all been doing it all these years. Not to mention, Candy and the Tamikas look gorgeous. They look seasoned, professional, regal, youthful, mature. They look like the embodiment of everything they've built and made over the years. And why they all couldn't get on one accord with this, it just seems senseless to me. Like, it honestly doesn't matter whose fault it is. And that's why I said it falls on all of them, because it's something so simple. So yeah, peep me in part 2 for the interview review. And in that part 2, there will also be more elaboration on some of the things that I said on their interaction and my perspective on what, you know, causes the discord and also what shows this. Because, you know, like I said, it'll be the exchange that they had with Tank during the pre-show. So there are actual active examples that I can use to give a clearer picture of everything from my perspective. So yeah. Thank y'all. And peep me in part 2.